Hey, I'm Cassandra Rubino, and I am a degreed exercise physiologist, and I have a nutrition certification from NASM in sports nutrition. And this video is all about how I quit the plant-based vegan lifestyle diet and went back to eating meat. Now, I've been a vegan for 7 years, up until the end of May 2024. And this video goes over my 30-day experience on going back to eating meat. Also sharing all the symptoms and all of the tribulations that I had going into 2024 that I experienced on long-term veganism. Now, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't be vegan or this is a negative impact on anyone who is vegan. This is my experience, and I do feel like everyone needs to do what's best for them. And after medical supervision of myself through a holistic practitioner and my medical doctor, I did go back to eating meat. So this is a 30-day spread out, unedited. And when I say unedited, there's barely any edits. It's a very long video, as you can probably see at the bottom. I'm just trying to possibly help anyone who is currently still vegan and facing so many different symptoms that they might be facing that I currently have and were even worse 2 months ago. And maybe you were a vegan and you had these certain symptoms as well, and maybe you can relate to this. If you don't plan on leaving veganism and you do not want to hear anything that has to do with me leaving veganism, that's cool too. You can swipe away or whatever it is, because I know that I've had lots of negative impacts by me leaving veganism. But if you are interested in learning my experience, please sit tight. Go and stream it on your TV or plug it into your Bluetooth in your car and listen away. So this is May 27th, 2024. And it's really hard for me to even talk about this or bring this up. And I will share why it's difficult for me to talk about this. But today I've made the decision that I'm no longer going to be vegan. I've been dealing with a lot of health issues, and primarily brought on by the stress of life. Those of you who might have been following me for a long time, my mother was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, my senior year of college, and that pretty much started my pursuit on healthier alternative living and figuring out how to prevent cancer in myself, on like trying to learn about nutrition. And shortly thereafter, I stopped eating meat, probably 3 or 4 years later, just eating fish and eggs and cheese and stuff. And then around 2017, I went vegan. And tonight, it's really sad for me to say this, but I've spent many hours in the last few weeks struggling with fatigue, with feeling like I look like old. I'm not 40 yet, and I'm not going to be 40 for a few more years, and I feel like things are happening to my body that haven't. And my mother has been diagnosed 2 more times, one in 2022 and one in 2020, end of 2023 with cancer. And that both of those times are very stressful. And for me, the stress was through food. I wasn't paying attention to the nutrients that I needed. And now I'm losing my hair. This is hair that has grown back, actually. So this hair right here was gone. My hairline has receded, and this is growing back, along with this hair has grown back, these little tiny babies. My hair is very thin. My hair is never really thin my whole life. And I understand you may be like, oh, you're getting older. Like, that's the whole point. But I've also gotten blood work done and, supplementation. I wasn't really supplementing with any vitamins or minerals or anything like that because I was trying to get it through food, right? So my B12 is low. My iron is really low. And currently suffering from heart palpitations, hair loss, fatigue, and everything is leading me in the direction of I need to start eating meat again. And so that's where I'm at. And it feels more detrimental to feel like the judgment that everyone's going to give me. The followers that followed me because I was vegan, and the information that I gave because I was vegan, the family members and the friends who are going to judge me for all the things. And that's the reason why, which I shouldn't give a shit about what anyone says because of how I feel. Like physically, not emotionally, but physically how I feel. But I care so much about having to defend myself on why I chose to go vegan and why I was vegan for so long. And that bothers me more than actually healing myself. So I'm going to go on this journey, and maybe I never post this and I just use this for myself. But the fear of letting the animals down is where I emotionally am having a hard time. But I'm tired. Physically, I'm tired. Emotionally, I'm tired. The heart palpitations, I can't anymore. And so, yeah, this is my journey. All right, so saying goodbye to all of this, specifically these, super processed. I mean, there's some good ingredients in here, but super processed. This isn't as processed. Okay, so this is day 2 of my documentation of going back to eating meat. So for the past 4 weeks or so, I've been eating eggs. Again, nothing about this is like really easy for me, especially like talking to the camera and like documenting this, because I just feel like I'm not really big on people's judgment, and like I try not to judge other people and how they live their lives or whatever. And I know that in the beginning of my veganism, I would be like, you have to go vegan. Everyone's vegan. Like, if you don't go vegan, you're dumb. Like, blah, 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 blah. And so here's my plate. I have a spinach omelet. I put a little bit of salsa on there with toast and strawberries. Again, I eat relatively healthy, and I just like, even right now, it's 10 a.m., 10:03, and I could go to bed. I woke up at 7:30, got 8 hours of sleep, and like, you could even see it in my face. Like, I'm just kind of like low energy. And I'm just tired of feeling this way, because I'm like thinking like, oh, maybe I'm depressed, but I'm like, and nothing against people who are depressed. I've dealt with my own bouts, but in this space, like, I feel like so many annoying things have happened since 2024 has begun. But for the most part, like, there's been a lot of great things that have happened to me, and I'm just kind of like, yeah. So low energy. I'm wearing my hair down. Normally, if you know me or you follow me for a long time, I always wear my hair, like, if it's up, I always wear it at the top of my head and have like a little waterfall of curls coming everywhere. And because my hair is slowly growing back, I'm trying not to wear it up in the opposite direction. And again, my hair is growing back, but it's also still coming out in clumps. So, yeah. So I'm going to read from my watch to make it easier for me. So she said, my creatine is slightly lower than optimal, which means, which shows possible muscle degeneration. Which, you know, as a trainer, you don't want to be degenerationing of your muscles. Which is funny because, you know, at the height of my biggest part of my fitness results, you know, the years that I spent working really hard, it was like I was probably aesthetically the most fit between 2018 and 2020. And then we were locked in our homes. And then since 2020, I've been trying to get back to that. But, you know, consuming a lot of tofu and tempeh and making my own seitan, I just never was able to get there. There was a point of last year where I felt like I was getting closer, but then I just kind of felt really tired. And so I stopped training and then gained some weight and then went on vacation and so on and so forth. But before I went on vacation is when I got the results in March for my blood test. So a little brief synopsis. So after all the meat this week, because I've been eating obviously wheat, I think you should be good here. But it could indicate difficulty building muscle, which has been the case. I haven't really PR'd any lifts in a long time. I really feel like I can't PR any lifts. I feel like all of my lifts are probably 40% less than even when I'm fully training. And so she said, secondly, one of the things is actually very common in long-term vegans is low stomach acid production, which means that you're not absorbing nutrients very well, which could probably make me understand why my hair is just not hairing. And I know I'm making this a joke, but it's not funny. And I'm not happy. And, you know, the feeling that I feel of the judgment of going back to eating meat from the vegan community makes me really afraid to talk about it. But like my health is literally deteriorating. So, which means that you're not absorbing nutrients really well. So my stomach acid is really low, which means you're not absorbing nutrients really well. I would add a hyaluronic or hyaluronic acid supplement that will help you actually use the protein in the vitamins. And so she hasn't finished digesting my results from my blood test just yet, because when my doctor ordered it, it was a ton. And let me just say too, like, why haven't you gone back to the doctor to say anything? Mostly because I was laid off right before or right after I got my blood test, and I've been trying to get on state insurance because, you know, I was laid off. So, and they are taking forever to get me to go back on. So that's why I haven't gone to an actual medical doctor at the moment. But I did just purchase some B12 shots from a med spa, which is what my doctor was saying before I left to go on vacation, is that I needed to come in for B12 shots. And so I just purchased some of those, and yeah. And TMI, but I'm getting my period this weekend, which means for the men watching this that I'm going to lose more iron because I'm going to bleed. So yeah, it's not, and I'm not saying that it's not going to work for everyone. I'm not saying veganism is like everyone should stop doing it and blah, blah, blah. And to my understanding too, from another holistic nutritionist, she was saying that, and I'm only a sports nutritionist. I don't know anything about the gut and all of these things, which is inspiring me to learn more about that side of nutrition. But she had said like men can sustain veganism longer than women because we have all these different hormonal changes that we go through, and being in my later 30s, like, I need some of these nutrients. Not saying that people in their early 30s or 20s don't need it, but my body's changing also. So not fun. I'm interested to see what the rest of what she says. There was an article that she gave me that was talking about the hyaluronic acid, and like it says like it's prevalent in people who are plant-based or follow a standard American diet. People who are plant-based, vegan, that take in a lot of starchy carbohydrates. And so I wasn't sitting around eating French fries every day. So the people who are going to at me and say like, oh, well, you should have stopped eating junk food, I made probably 80% of the things from scratch. And if you followed me at all, you saw me making things from scratch. So it's not that I was a junk food vegan. But anyways, that's my story for today. It is April 30th. And nope, it's not April 30th. It's May 30th. And so yeah, continue the journey. I am getting ready to go get a B12 shot. If you are recovering from a plant-based diet or your B12 is low, you should get one. This is my hair. And so this is, if you know me, you know this is not my hair. So I've been putting it back and down for probably like a month now. And when it's really dry, I don't feel like wetting it again, because if I wet it again, then I have to brush it. And if I brush it again, then all my hair falls out. So I've just been keeping it in a low ponytail so it's not pulling on my hairline, which is growing back. And then just putting in a low bun. And then eventually washing it. But it's crazy. So it has grown back for sure, but in the front, but it's still falling out. So B12 shot coming up in about 30 minutes. And yeah, I bought 6 of them. So we will see the 6 months or 6 weeks, whatever the recommendation is, how many times I should get them done. And then go from there. So obviously here we are, and mine was at 320, and the lowest is 200, and the maximum is 1100. So I was at 320, and to me, I didn't know that meant that like, oh, I have low B12, but low B12 and low B6 have contributed to so many other symptoms that I have. So heart palpitations is one of them. So anyways, that was my experience. It was really nice med spa here right up the street from my home. And yeah, here we go. What's up, y'all? So day 6, I don't remember, getting closer to a week of eating meat. And I will say, like I said the other day, my energy level is different. I'm going to go to the grocery store and get, a week's worth of what I need to eat. Again, I'm not counting macros right now. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm going through the motions. I'm having breakfast, and I'm having some Greek yogurt. I've been eating the Greek yogurt since Wednesday or so. And because I'm going to be taking some digestive enzymes because I'm not absorbing the nutrients in food, and that's why my hair is falling out. I woke up this morning, and again, I'm not counting macros. I barely worked out this week. I think I worked out twice just because I'm trying to recover from just being so fatigued all the time. I just want to show, I've been bloated probably for like 2 years, and I was thinking like, oh man, it's like maybe I just wasn't 100% with my macros, or maybe it was like, oh, it's because I had a couple slices of pizza on Saturday, but it was like extreme bloating, like at all times. And I was like, maybe I knew it wasn't, oh, it's because of my age, that's why I can't lose weight or whatever. But I was just like, maybe I'm just not being 100% with my diet all the time. And so this morning I woke up and I'm like, man, like we went out to eat last night, which I didn't overeat, but it was just still like, I went out to eat last night and I had a wrap for whatever it's called, for lunch, and I had like a good breakfast. So I feel like I'm eating a decent amount of food without counting calories or macros or anything. But this morning, I'm just going to show you. This morning I woke up and this would normally be like probably out here, even after I've gone to the bathroom. I don't think that I've been not this, like, my stomach has not been this flat in a long time, unless it's immediately when I woke up and then if I didn't eat anything. So like by the time it was like noon, it would be like out to here. So I just want to emphasize that. And I know that people are going to say like, oh, well, you're a nutritionist, you should know this, blah, blah, blah. I'm a weight loss nutritionist. I'm a weight loss, and I am a muscle gaining sports nutritionist. I do not specialize in the internal health of what's going on, like with your blood, with your iron. I can only suggest, of course, that you're making sure that you're getting those things in. But when someone wants to lose weight, I'm tunnel vision and spent my career in that direction. So if people are going to be like, oh, well, you're supposed to be knowledgeable, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I didn't spend my time learning about like holistic practitioner things. And maybe I'm naive, and maybe I didn't want to, or maybe I should have, or all of these things. But I know for sure, like, definitely I was eating a lot of tofu and a lot of tempeh, and I was making seitan, which is like straight up wheat gluten. And I'm not saying that I'm allergic to wheat or anything like that, but I spent a lot of time making sure that my macronutrients were on point, but my micronutrients were unbeknownst to me. Like, I was just like, oh yeah, I'll take a calcium supplement. Oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. But I wasn't being consistent with it because I'm thinking I'm getting all the nutrients I need from my food, from my greens, from my vegetables, from my protein sources. And I'm not. So this has definitely taught me a lot about not just going back to eating meat, but like I need to spend more time in the holistic part of nutrition and learning more about the micronutrients for not just me, but for my clients as well. So it's my 1 week timeline. I don't know what to say since I've been adding meat back into my diet. I do feel way less tired. I have barely any heart palpitations, if any. I am drinking a shake right now with spinach and kale, and it's a whey protein shake, but it's whey concentrate because all the things that I was reading. But I will say I do feel 80% different. And I would say the symptoms that I had were probably for 3 to 4 months. And me realizing it was some of the things, I tried to rectify it within the first 2 months. And I feel like in this last month, me trying has just gotten worse. So that's where I'm at. I also was on a video just talking about different types of particles of your hair that might be affected, not particles, but if you have lack of blood flow because you have lack of iron, that could be why you're losing your hair. And veganness and all this stuff, and the people in the comments, I was like, man, I've been vegan for 20 something years and I've never had this problem and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like it's like, maybe it's a case by case basis. Because there is a difference between heme iron and non-heme iron. And the heme iron is hemoglobin. And I had barely any hemoglobin in my body. So it's tough, but reading the comments, I'm like, people are just so mean. And this had nothing to even do with my video. It had to do with another video talking about hair loss as a vegan. So anyways, it's been a week. Okay, so these are the vitamins that my holistic nutrition friend / practitioner has recommended for me to take. This one for my low stomach acid, so I'm not absorbing any of the nutrients that I'm taking in. Multivitamin that has iron and zinc and magnesium and all the things. Pause for all the things if you'd like. And then vitamin C, so I can absorb the iron and the B12 that I'm taking in. So then this works as well. So I just started taking them today. And so we'll see what happens. Because I'm not absorbing any of my nutrients, it is hard for me to have successful bowel movements. I know TMI, but the bowel movements that I have, sometimes I don't digest anything, and so what I ate came right back out. So that enzyme is supposed to help me, the hydrochloro something, I can't remember what it's called, I have to see it written on a piece of paper, but that's the HCI, that's what it's short for. So yeah, some bowel movements are great, and then some are like, oh, I just went through my small intestines, large intestines, and came right out. So TMI, but you know, it is what it is. So hopefully I will be absorbing nutrients relatively quickly within the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll see. So I just finished a workout, and I will say that workout should have been more intense, but because I'm only, a week and 2 days into eating meat again, I'm not gonna go super hard as far as like doing my CrossFit style workouts, because what I was noticing during that was that my heart would spike. Even while doing this half marathon, it would be spiking. Once my heart rate goes past 174, then all of a sudden it spikes up to 203, 208, and then I have to stop. And so now that I do have more energy, I do have to take my time and do workouts that should be more intense, heavier, more interval style. I have to go easy, which doesn't mean that I'm not burning calories because I have to go slower. It's just, you know, my brain is like, go faster, go harder. So it is a mental struggle to not go faster, not put more weight on the barbell. But I'm still in a healing phase, so the workout wasn't too bad, but you can tell that I get tired easily from the workout video. So anyways, that's my workout sum up, and moving on. Okay, y'all, so yesterday was June 25th, and it was 30 days since I started eating meat, and my hair is definitely growing back. It's still kind of coming out, like that's been the theme that I've been saying, but it's definitely coming back in. My energy levels are different, and my stamina, just all around feel better. My skin feels different, it feels brighter, it looks brighter, all the things. Also down 8 pounds, and I wasn't trying to. I definitely have been aware of what I've been eating as far as consumption, but before I was trying. This whole time leading while I was vegan, I was trying. I did get my blood test recently, and the doctor and the holistic practitioner both were talking about how my iron is still low, my B12 is up, and that as far as my creatine levels, still the same, and I'm still borderline anemic. So that's going to take some time, but both the doctor and the holistic practitioner both agreed that long-term veganism is the reason for all of the side effects that I have been given or gotten. And so that first blood test was from March, and then this last one was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I don't have to take a nap every single day. I don't even think I've taken a nap in the last 30 days, 2 weeks. I can't remember, but I don't think I've taken a nap. And so yeah, again, this is my experience. I'm not looking for you guys to be like, oh, maybe you just need to try again, or maybe something is wrong with you and it has nothing to do with veganism. But I do think that understanding that where I've been, where I felt in the last 30 days has been dramatically different from, like, even just sitting here, my heart rate was at 75, just like walking around the house, and my resting heart rate is around 60, whereas my resting heart rate was like 101. So still taking the vitamins, still consuming meat. This week I haven't really worked out that much because my mom's in town, but we'll see how I feel with my AFib, heart palpitations in a couple of days. Hopefully nothing, but you know, that's gonna stand the test of time and the amount of time it takes me to build up some iron. So anyways, I definitely believe the people who in the past told me that they had to stop being vegan because it made them sick. Before, I just didn't understand it, and now I 1000%, like even more than that, 1,000,000% understand what they meant when they said that veganism made them sick. Because the heart rates, the sleepiness, the hair falling out, like literally, even still in the shower, I can pull it out by the end strands, like just pulls it out. Again, it's growing, but it's gonna take time. Especially the lack of iron is also why my hair has been falling out. So anyways, that is my story for right now. Again, if even all of the vegans and vegetarians that I've been sharing this with that used to be vegan, vegetarian, I should say, they have all pretty much 87% of them have shared the same exact symptoms as me. And so when somebody says that it didn't work for them, now I know exactly what that means. So here we go to the continuation of getting better. And hopefully you follow me along in that journey. If not, totally understand. And yeah, have a great night. What's going on? So thank you if you've made it this far in the video. I did not edit much of it because I wanted to be real and raw about my experience. But now we're at the 24th of July. So I am almost 2 months into eating meat. As you can see, and hopefully you can tell, I mean, I know it's different than real life, but I do have, you know, again, getting more hair back. I'm looking back and editing the video and looking at just the color of my face. Like right now I have a tan, but my lips were really dull, which is something that I noticed during my whole experience. But I really do feel better. I still have not taken a nap during the day, which I'm a good sleeper, but I have not at one point been like, oh my God, I need to stop what I'm doing and take a nap. So my AFib is still bothering me, but it's not as bad. It only bothers me when I try to push the limit and go faster, quick bouts, but I am officially feeling way better. And when I do go into AFib, what normally happens is that before it would take like probably 10 minutes for me to calm down. Now it takes probably seconds to drop back down. During I'm TMI, but I'm going to be menstruating soon. So I can definitely tell that there is some fatigue, and I can feel some sort of remnants of fluttering of the heart, but I know that my body is trying to do what it needs to do to release the blood that's going to happen. I know, again, TMI, sorry, but you know, human nature, this is what's normal. So anyways, this is my, you know, almost 60-day follow-up of eating meat. I mentioned earlier that I had lost 8 pounds. I went home to Massachusetts, and we went to Cape Cod for a week, and so the 8 pounds is no longer a thing. But I did have nostalgia food that I had growing up, and I had a lot of it. So this has been my experience. I do want to continue to do check-ins like this about my experience going back to eating meat. And hopefully, again, you stay for the ride and you've watched this whole long video. So hope you guys are doing great. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I will see you guys very, very soon.